My son just sent a text. My wife, she works at the mall. Some reason he's coming on 7 had to go to Walmart, Charlotte, the bus. There's an active shooter right there. He goes, yeah, there's an active shooter at Walmart, Charlotte. Right now. Go ahead, put that in, of course. Good morning, David. Yeah, Barry and Jack. Yeah. It's the toe. It really is.
Hey, that's what happens when you scrape the top of your foot. I wore shoes as long as I could today. When I went home, I said, hey. Hey.
Trying to make sure I don't mess it up.
Oh, I can see that's what you do. If I was over there, I know I'm gonna do it.
Really not too complicated. I just told Roger, I said, I'm just gonna set up really early, wait till last thing. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if he's off, he'll a little bit, then you feel, I mean, people, I guess when you're not.
I got one in the week.
Yeah. Haven't been to my head on the dollar.
Yeah. Well, I did the 10th grade boys, they usually talk to them to the bed. They know them. I'm not sure when I get on the Zoom. Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm flying, they don't get on that's very, it's not just like,
Nope. Started today.
Hello, Kevin.
Hey, James. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
Your video's not on.
Yeah, I got it off for right now. Can you see me?
I do now, yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's see. I think that's pretty good.
I just did a little bit earlier. Yeah, I'm right here. They sat down there. You better look at it. You better look at it. That was all I had. I was only going to be a rider. Take what you can get. You still have to go out and ball. Next that. You all the way, I just can't do the other one. So, you just can't talk, or can't have your laptop. You can't talk into it. That's what it's about. You doing there? You sell. Stand on throw. It'll show whatever.
Start thinking about other people other than yourself. That's what the mask is about.
We all know that.
Let me get you off.
That's Spain, that's fishing, so you set you up. I got one today for Rick Presents, so if you go buy some gift cards for it. I got one. Yeah. It's, we called Roger, looking at everybody. Stuff. Yeah, I'd love to do it. You go out and get the campus, Saturday? No, I didn't go. We were, my son went back to Fayetteville, we moved him up Sunday, so he went downstate, so we stayed at home and ate steak. What else? See, I don't like that. I want to sit there and eat. Some guy. We could outside, but you know, there's really. I should have wanted to say back there. He wanted to see. You're the best. On the screen if you know and it's just put their face on. Okay. You know how it is. Okay. That's Ken right there. He's not sitting down. Okay. That's something. Yeah, so now you can scroll, but it should, if you're on the home page, it should, whenever.
Okay, where is that on here?
I don't know. You can try to get on Zoom. I doubt it's gonna work. If you. Ask Matthew if he thinks it'll work. I don't think it will. He's gonna have to be in another room, isn't he?
You gonna have to go in the other room?
Yeah,
Yeah, if you're gonna walk in, otherwise they have to go.
yeah.
That's what Roger figured out. So, do like, and that's what they.
What time is it? 6:30? 6:31. Okay, public, we're gonna be ready to go here in a second. I apologize.
Thank you.
I think we're just waiting on Ron to get on.
Almost done.
Okay. Hey, Louis, could you go check for me? See if,
Matt is setting it up right now.
okay.
Why is mother's screen? We don't. I keep knocking myself out. I'm sorry, guys.
He's about to connect audio. He's connecting, so we're close.
When you want to mute,
Hey, can y'all see me?
and then when you want to talk, unmute.
I can see you.
Y'all can still see me because I can't see y'all.
Yeah, I can see you.
You need to clean your lens off a little bit. You're a little foggy, but
Maybe it's my cataract surgery.
no, it's your camera.
I can't see anything.
You need to hit the,
Well, hang on a minute. Kevin and I'll run over and kick Sudden Links building. Let me back on.
Hurry up, go.
We're gonna have to fix that, aren't we, Ed?
Yeah, we need to.
Better do something quick. What can I do?
Well, I think they're on. Ron, can you hear me?
He's still muted.
I can hear you.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start at 6:34. Once again, I apologize to the public. We're having technical difficulties getting everybody on. We're gonna start off in our Municipal Services Committee. Chairman Ed Long. First item is 1100 West Elm Street, which is the old Crown Metal building, that they were gonna put the Kroger Center there. Laura or Ed, go ahead and start off and then you direct what you want to do.
Okay, Laura and I talked about how to try to start moving some of this items along that would fall under this hazardous buildings and those kinds of things. And we think we've got a system in place that works. So the Municipal Services Committee received from Laura the information on this. They've had an opportunity, which is James Reed and Matt Weber, to go by and investigate and look and then address any questions or anything like that to Laura so that she could answer them back. I'm saying that to say this because our new ordinance calls for these items to go through the committee first. We feel like by doing that, since we're having to kind of reinvent the way we do business, that we have complied with that. It's my understanding, I think Laura talked to Ben about it, or I talked to him, I don't know which, and he agreed that that was okay to do it that way. So this is a formalization of what that committee has found. So I would like to turn it over to James to see if he's got any comments he wants to make about it.
Actually, no, I've been by and seen the building, and the questions I have, I fielded with Ms. Nobles, and she's answered all the questions. I'm comfortable with the way we've got this written.
Okay, James, thank you. Matt?
All my questions were answered by Laura. It was impeccable how she responded. So I tip my hat to her, and I look forward to this laundry list that we have of other properties. But I know that's not for tonight's discussion. But yeah, I'm ready to move forward.
Well, if this process that we're doing tonight, and this is kind of a see if it's going to work for us. If it works, then Laura and I have talked, and we are going to move some others forward, Matt. So I think this is going to work okay. Holy mackerel. Hang on a minute. I just got all kinds of virus. I think it's going to work for us. Laura, based on the feedback that you got, does you or the staff need to change your recommendations on this?
No, I will let you know that the Kroger company must have received my certified letter in the mail either over the weekend or today or over the holiday, because they did call our office today to inform us that they potentially have some prospective buyers. But I don't know if that's just them saying that to delay the process, but they were told that this will move forward to the July 20th City Council meeting, and they will have 30 days from when this resolution is put into action. They have 30 days to take care of the building, or the city will step in and take care of it for them.
Now, Ben, it's my understanding that if the council does go ahead and act on this on the 20th, we do go ahead and enact this resolution, that we still will not affect the sale of that building at that point, because there won't be anything filed that would put a cloud on that at this time. Is that right?
Yes, sir, that is absolutely correct. After passage of a resolution, if the council decides to do so, they will have 30 days still to
That's right.
Cooling down and remedy themselves. So yes, sir, you're absolutely correct.
So that's what I understood. So the idea that if we move forward with this is going to somehow taint that sale over there, that's simply not true. Even after we pass the resolution, it still won't for a period of 30 days. And at that point, they can petition us through the city attorney's office with a plan on moving this forward some more if they need to. So it is my recommendation that we go ahead and move this to the city council. I just saw Ben pop up. Ben, what do you need?
No, I was just saying that's absolutely right. Even after the resolution, they can't still approach us with a plan for either demolition or fixing it up or whatever. So no, they still have options after the passage.
Okay, good deal. All right, anybody else got any questions, comments, or concerns?
I have a question, Ed. With the new way we're doing it, if they do come back and have a plan, does the new ordinance that we have in place require them to present a plan and
Yes.
bond?
Yes.
Okay.
They have to present a plan. They have to present a plan to Ben, and then Ben will submit it to the council for approval. Now, that's the way I understand the ordinance. Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the way I understand this new ordinance.
Yes, sir. That's right.
But does the new ordinance also require a bond with that plan?
Yes, with the plan, it would require a bond.
Okay, in case they don't fulfill that plan. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That's the way I understood the new ordinance.
Okay.
The new ordinance was changed considerably to give more backup
to code
to help solve some of the things that we've got here right now. And again, I always go back and say this, the Linden Street property over there is a prime example of where we have found ourselves that this new ordinance should help prevent.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else got any other questions? Need to direct anything to Laura, to the mayor? Mayor, it looks like we're ready.
Okay, seeing none, we're going to move on to our next item. You did get the votes and everything to move that?
I heard Ed say that he would like to.
We got a vote. don't we?
I need an official motion and a second.
He needs an official motion and second to move it to the council.
Make a motion to move it to the council. Full council.
I got a motion from Matt, a second from Ed. I got 3 people voting. I've got Matt, or go ahead, Tammy. I'm sorry.
Long, Reed, and Weber. Long,
Aye.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Okay. Passes 3-0 out of committee, goes to the city council meeting on the 20th of July. Next item is waste collection services. You didn't get any paperwork on this. You know, this is just for the bid docs we're sending out. Usually administration wouldn't do something like this, but I mentioned to y'all in the last meeting that I would let y'all look at it since y'all did want to rebid it out, because we can't let someone else know what's in the bid documents. Everyone has to get it at the same time. So basically what we wanted to do is you had till July 1st to get with Laura, but didn't know if there's any clarifications or questions you might want to ask here in open forum about us sending that out for bid soon.
I didn't have any questions. Everything was fine with me on it, Mayor. I have no objections to administration going ahead and doing what they need to do.
Likewise.
Matt, did you
I
have
had a
anything on it?
few simple questions just for clarification purposes. And once again, Laura hit it out of the park in responding to me. So I have no further questions on this.
Okay.
James, were you okay with it?
I am. I do like the fact that we've included the performance bond, and that's going to be a part of the contract. And Laura has answered my questions I had relating to how the businesses have to be in business.
Mayor, this should not require a vote since, you know, it's up to you now to move forward with it.
Yes, sir. I'll bring it to you.
There's absolutely no council action required at this point.
Right. I'll bring it back to you once I get the bids in and we look at them and bring something for council for approval. Laura, you have anything you want to add?
I'm ready to move forward if everybody else is.
Okay.
I've got one quick question. Laura, we're still on target for an August opening, correct? I mean, August award. Yeah, August opening, September award.
Yes, on the second part.
Okay.
Because if I answer the first part, then that's going to give alluding to when it's going to be.
I got you. Okay. I would like to say this. I don't think anybody on the council, I could be wrong, but I don't think anybody on the council, Mayor, would have any problems with a special meeting to deal with this in order to make our calendar work. So, you know, if that's what we need to do, let's do it.
Okay. Thank you. Laura, you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other various municipal services, community input?
Anything at all?
Anyone on Facebook, YouTube? Anyone in the audience? We can't release the date yet, but she's going to at one time so everybody could hear at the same time.
I signed up on the website.
Okay. Stubby wanted to know date. I said you release it when we're ready. At one time, he said he signed up on the website, so he'll get it as soon as you release it.
People have been calling. I've just been telling them to watch the paper in the upcoming weekends.
Yep. She'll release it on the website as soon as she. Right.
Mayor, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Next item's Budget and Personnel Committee. We didn't have anything on there. I'll turn the floor over to Doug, but just want to let you know that the revenues for June, which is April numbers, were up 11%. Expenses are doing well. We're keeping them at or below where they need to be. City's in good shape halfway through the year. No big items that I know that you need to know except for when we go into police and fire. Doug, do you have anything?
No, there's nothing on the agenda. Just I've had a few folks ask about the revenues and all, and just remember last year, I think it was at this time, we weren't getting a full accounting of sales and use tax, but
yes, the revenues so far are looking good.
Yeah, we've already got our April numbers, got them last week, I believe, didn't we, Tammy? So everything's looking good. Next item, Police and Fire Committee. Damon, refurbishment of engine number 1.
Yes, correct. I think Dwayne and them are here to go over that with us. I know we brought it up last minute or last meeting before that, about the refurbishing and the process of it. And we're looking to get that on and push it forward through the council, get the progress started since it's a lengthy time for them to get the process going. I don't think anything's going to hit to us for monies until March or April of next year.
Right, and I'm gonna let Dwayne speak for y'all. He's coming up to the mic, but basically what we've been doing is watching revenues, seeing that we haven't had a decline. We needed to let the people know up in Wisconsin what our intentions were, because they got to put us on a list and to get that refurbed, and they're the only ones that can do it. So what he'll be bringing to you is, well, he's going to go over that right now. If you're okay with him taking the mic, Damon?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Dwayne. Chief.
Everybody hear me okay?
No.
How about now?
Yeah, all the way up.
Okay, so as you saw in the letter that I wrote you guys, the engine 1 is a 2005 Pierce contender that we bought as a demo unit back in 2005. And it's been the primary engine at Central Fire Station for the last 15 years. And bottom line is it's getting tired. It's out of compliance by about 14 years. It needs to be updated, brought up to current standards. The bones and the structure of the engine are still in decent shape. I don't think it's worth scrapping. I think rather than buy a new one, I think we can refurbish this one, which is essentially taking it down to the frame, rebuilding all the major components, fixing it up, dolling it up, painting it up, putting on new lights, new seats, do everything on the whole thing, and then rebuilding it and giving it back to us. Essentially, as near to a brand new engine as we can get for the money. So it'll save us about $250,000 as opposed to purchasing a new engine. And so the time frame, once we tell Appleton that we're good to go and y'all give us the blessing to proceed, they're looking at the January, February timeframe before they can get it in to the Pierce plant up in Appleton, Wisconsin. So we need to kind of start the process now. Like the mayor alluded to, they're the only vendor in the state that can do this for us. It has to go back to the manufacturer, and we need to utilize EPS. So, but if we keep drawing them out, it's just going to be further on down the road before we get to it. It's got to go to Conway EVS in the October timeframe, and there's a lot of stuff that we're able to save money with by doing some stuff in state at the local Pierce place, which is EVS in Conway. Once they get that stuff done, sometime after the first of the year, it'll go up to Appleton to do the stuff that the manufacturer has to do. The total price on it's about $281,000, and like I said, if we could, I don't know if we need to wait the second or third reading. I'm not sure if it has to be read 3 times.
Yeah, we'll have to ask you for
To waive competitive bidding.
to waive competitive bidding, because they're the ones that do it.
Yeah.
We need an emergency clause.
Yeah. Right. So instead of buying a new unit, we're trying to save $250,000 by doing this. This is a good unit. In the last engine we had is going to be paid off when, Tammy? October, November?
The first one will be paid off in November of 2020, and the
Okay.
second one in December of 2021.
So the 2 we have financed, one's going to be paid off November of 2020, and the other one is, what is it again? December of 2021. So we're trying not to buy new rigs. We're trying to redo what we have and use the QRV instead of using these big engines as much. So we're trying to be smart with our money, with repairs, et cetera. And basically the payoff is immediate.
I agree.
Yeah, the ROI is boom right now. So It's a very smart strategy. But you know, the problem is there's only one person in town that does it, and that's in Appleton, Wisconsin. I kind of wish I owned that company.
I brought our chief cook and bottle wash, Captain Walton, up here, if anybody has any technical questions they'd like to ask.
Chief brought Captain David Walton, who works on all of our rigs. It's the technical expert in anything mechanical. Seems like he's our MacGyver. And he's here if you want to ask him some questions on why this is a good idea, why we should do this, anything like that. I can bring him to the mic if you want to talk to him.
Mayor, I'm not on the Fire and Police Committee, but can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Yes. I believe I heard Chief Boswell say that the rig was going down to the bare bones, and that it would be good from there. I'm wondering is once we get down to that bare bones, I haven't worked on aircraft all these years. Sometimes you get down to those bare bones, you find things like corrosion and things like that. Is there a chance that could be found that would make it, I don't know, maybe irreparable or too expensive to go forward? And if so, is there an alternate plan if that happens?
Go ahead.
That's a good question. As far as corrosion and stuff, I mean, it's pretty, the frame and everything would be the major components that would be corroded. The motor is gonna have a complete rebuild here in Arkansas before it goes out in Conway. That's one thing we were able to do in state. Saved us a considerable amount of money. The transmission was rebuilt 3 years ago. Last year, I'm sorry. The transmission was rebuilt last year. So the major expensive components of the engine are going to be replaced or have been replaced. So just short of any major frame degradation or corrosion, which us not being in a saltwater environment, they don't use a whole lot of heavy salt on the roads in the wintertime, so I don't anticipate a lot of corrosion on the frame. And Captain Walton, since I've been around Captain Walton, he's been underneath that engine a considerable amount of time. So I don't anticipate any major structural components. And the engine is going to be handled, and the transmission will be handled also. So, and the pump components he's pretty well replaced all those over the last few years too. So, you know, even if they do have to replace the complete pump, it's not going to drive the cost up a significant amount to say it's not worth the investment.
Well, basically, I'm seeing what Doug's asking. David, have you seen any surface corrosion anywhere on the frame or? Come on up.
Captain Walton.
The fire truck itself is a solid aluminum chassis, the bed and the cab are. So rust and corrosion won't be as big of an issue with that, where Mr. Warner, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. They use additives anywhere that two different metals are going to touch. So those are all still intact. No body structure changes or damage have been ever done to the fire truck. So I don't anticipate anything there. When he says it goes down to the frame, everything that's on it will come back as far as structural components, but then it will be compliant to the new standards as if it was a brand new built fire truck. And the question on the cost, I believe inside the contract, there is a 10% plus or minus line in there that if they found something inside that chassis when they got in there, a crack in the frame, because the frames are steel on them, but I don't anticipate any of that. I can't foresee the future, but I believe that fire truck is well suited to get this process done to it.
So it could cost another $28,000.
Yeah, that still would be a savings, all right. Yeah, the similar metal corrosion was something I was concerned about, but I'll take your word on it. If you think we're going to be okay, then yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I think they've met with these people several times. Captain Walton has, and Chief Boswell and others. And I know that they recommend this is the best rig to do this to. And they're pretty confident in it. But, you know, like you said, you can always find something when you get down and dirty in it. So but that plus or minus will cover it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's what they're predicting on their original contract for it.
So if that happens, instead of saving us 250,000, we save 222,000. So,
Yes, sir. Still
okay.
coming out in the long run from
Okay.
obviously a new purchase.
Okay. Anyone have anything else on that? Well, we're going to bring that as legislation next meeting, but didn't want to surprise you with it. But like you said, it's going to be waiving competitive bidding. And it's going to be, would we have a resolution, Ben, to send that, or would we just have a budget amendment then probably, or what? But we're not going to pay for it in 2020. So is there any other legislation we need besides waiving competitive bidding, Ben?
Probably not at this point. At this point, you wouldn't need a budget amendment because it's not
Right.
out of this year's budget. Is that right?
Right. Correct.
So no, you probably just need a waiver at this point.
Okay. Can you think of anything else, Chief, you need on that?
The only thing I didn't want to make you aware of is that once we sign this contract, the wheels are rolling, so to speak. So Pierce and Ultimate, this truck's so old that a lot of the parts are gonna have to be manufactured. So if we do decide to back out at some point in time, if revenue falls, and we decide that we don't want to proceed with it, then there could be some financial cost incurred as the process proceeds, then we might not be able to, we might have to pay for it.
Well, then there would have to be an ordinance or resolution for me and Tammy to enter into a contract as well then. Would that be right, Ben, then?
I wasn't able to completely hear what he said, but if we're talking about entering into a contract, yes, we need to, because it's eventually, even if we're not paying now, eventually we're going to be paying. So we do want council approval on that, on the contract, yes. Yeah, 'cause like I said, once we sign the contract, then we're committed to a certain portion financially, depending on how far along in the process we are if we decide to back out, which either party can back out at any time. I mean, that's just a standard agreement. So.
Okay. We just need to get that contract so council can review it before the meeting in ample time.
Yes,
Take a
sir.
look at it.
Yeah,
Okay.
ready to go.
Okay. Tammy still needs a motion.
Make a motion to send this to full council.
Okay. Who's on fire, please?
Need a second, and it's Damon, Ron, and Ed.
Damon, Ron, and Ed.
Need a second, please.
Need a second.
Second.
We got a motion from Damon, a second from Ed to send this to full council.
Damon, vote.
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Ed Long.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other community discussions for police and fire? Damon, you have anything?
No, sir. I talked with Chief Davis, and there's nothing on the agenda really for the police at this time, other than the daily struggles of dealing with what we're dealing with out there today.
Okay. We have anything from Facebook? Not per this. Anyone out in the audience? Seeing none, Community Development Committee, Chairman Kevin Davis.
Okay, the chamber report, you should have gotten your email today, council members. I want to ask Norman and Damon, since you're on this committee, do you have any questions on the report? Amy should be online.
I was fine with
Yeah, everything's good on the report. The only thing I was still wondering about, and I got some information, but the mural that's going on in the water department, how's that going?
Okay, Amy or Damon, excuse me, Amy or whoever, if you're online and know about it, just, you can answer Damon at your will.
See if Amy's on there.
All right, she shows to be on, but she may not hear for some reason, I don't know.
All right, if she comes back on, we can ask that later.
Yeah, we can come back to that. Norma, you have anything?
No, sir.
Okay, all the council should have the second quarter report in your email. So you can go over it. If you have any questions, you're sure more than welcome to email Amy back at your will. But as far as that, there's nothing else on the agenda, or there's nothing on the agenda actually. So any other council members, do you have anything? Okay, seeing none. Anybody from the public have anything on economic development?
Anyone from the public? Anyone on your side over there, Matthew? Okay. We have nothing, Kevin.
All right. All right. I'll turn it back over then.
Okay. Military Affairs Committee, Ron Waymack.
I have nothing at this time, Mayor.
Okay. All right. Last part for general community input. I emailed y'all something earlier. We sent out the agenda on Thursday, but as you all know, the governor spoke on Friday and decided that he wanted to send the question about face masks being worn down to the cities for the mayors and councils to decide upon. I sent a draft resolution by Arkansas Municipal League that encourages wearing face masks. I don't know if y'all have received, I've received tons of emails and texts over the weekend. Some for it, some against it. Some didn't think it's, for our civil liberties, against our First Amendment. Some thinking we need to make sure everybody stays safe. Some thinking it's just people trying to control us, etc. I know y'all could mention what you have here too. But basically what I want to do is ask y'all. Basically why I wanted to ask y'all is, do you want a resolution or something, or do you want to discuss if you want to do one in our July council meeting? I would say let's do a special meeting, but I think from what I'm understanding from my emails and text and some people out in the audience, that this would be one that a lot of people would want to come to, because it's a very emotional, personal thing for each individual. And, the governor booted it to us, so we've got to decide if we want to take any action. So I guess I'll start with whomever wants to speak to see if we want to do anything or keep status quo as it is in Cabot.
Well, I do have my personal thought on this. If I think the people can take safety precautions, and I think they're smart enough to do that on their own. If any business in the city wants to put a sign on the door stating that people must wear a mask, then they should do so. But mandating from a council for something like this may not be, in my opinion, it may not be the best interest of us to do that, because it is kind of infringing. It is kind of overstepping our bounds, trying to mandate personal responsibility and their choice. I do see people in the city wearing masks, and I see people not wearing masks. So I think they can figure this out on their own. Like I said, if I walk into a restaurant or a business and they mandate wearing masks, I will put a mask on. I have no problem with that. So I think it's a personal responsibility. Like I said, that's just my opinion.
Sure.
Mayor, as this one, would this be the one we'd be voting on in July?
Yeah, that's what they're encouraging people to do. I mean, we can always change ours up, but
okay.
Basically, if you read it and if someone doesn't comply, someone can call the Arkansas Department of Health and they can shut a business down.
Right. Well, and because the way it reads, everything in here is already mandated or suggested rather by Arkansas Department of Health. But it also says, and other people's homes. So if someone comes to my home.
Would you say again? Say it one more time.
On the, let's see, on the 1, 2, 3, on the 4th paragraph where it says where masks would be required, it says, and other people's homes. So if I went to your house without a mask on, called police department.
They could.
Yeah, I mean, but the other place that it mentions in this ordinance is already covered by Garden City Department of Health.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of redundant other than other people's homes. You know, and then we require them to wear a mask, but then when the vaccine comes out,
Mm-hmm.
you can't require anybody to get a vaccine.
Yep.
So that's just my opinion also, but
Yeah, I agree, Norma. I agree. It's not enforceable either. I'm sorry. It's just
no,
not.
I mean, it's not. And I think out of personal respect, you should wear a mask for people with compromised immune systems, with people that have loved ones at home. I mean, you should. I'm very claustrophobic. I have to take mine off sometimes and run out and make sure I'm away from somebody. But I mean, you should wear a mask, but I mean, you can't mandate somebody to be respectful. That's kind of hard. And we put this responsibility on our police officers who already have a bad rap, and all they can do is educate them. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a catch-22 on them. So, I don't know.
Is anyone for promoting legislation?
It's a no for me.
No.
No for me.
I would echo everything that Kevin said. I found it very interesting in the verbiage of this. And you, Mayor, you said that this was vetted by the municipal league.
This was written by the municipal league.
Okay, so I'm confused because all the references to the Department of Health guidance, and again, guidance, recommends, should, encourages, all those nice words, but then when it gets to our part where it states what the city's going to do, it says requires.
Right.
To me, that goes above and beyond encourage and suggest, because I don't know about you, but I have used my thesaurus many, many times, and when I clicked on requires, it brings up shall, will, force, command, demands, and mandates. So to me, how in the world are we going to enforce something like this mandate? We're going to try to enforce a business policy. If a business wants to require a mask, that's fine. But our police department shouldn't have to try to enforce that. And after they quote unquote educate and encourage them, if they still don't comply, what are they going to do? Are they going to forcibly remove them from the business?
Well, that's why it said we have to be required to enforce it. So we'd have to be required to self-report them to the Arkansas Department of Health or to the police.
And it's not just for citizens, it says it's required in your workplaces. So it's your employees.
This is personal property business policy. If they want to enforce it, let them. And if you don't want to comply with that, go down the street to another business. But if they have something that you absolutely have to have, you need to comply with their request. But I just, and if this is going to be, once you sign off on this, if it's going to be in perpetuity, there's no expiration on this. I just have a problem with this being a stepping stone to something further in the future.
And there's another thing that is troublesome to me, and that's the schools being referenced.
Oh, yes.
I mean, the superintendents and the school boards over the schools, but yet if you read it, it says that we're going to require the schools. So are we going to require kindergartners to wear a mask all day long? There's too many ambiguities in there for me. But besides that, I agree with what Matt and Kevin both have said. It is a business owner's personal choice.
Mm-hmm.
If they say no, if they put a sign on the door and you go in, they can ask you to leave. If you don't leave, they still have the authority right now today to call the police department and have you removed. It's that simple. I don't see where this changes a thing other than it puts a whole bunch of ambiguity out there in the community and we don't know what's going on. I think the thing needs to be reworked. I think it needs to be forgot about in Cabot. That's just me.
Right. Well, yeah, and it even says workplaces. So this puts the city over people's employees.
Yep.
So.
In church.
And churches.
And church.
Churches. So it puts, will we go in First Baptist and remove people out of church? I mean.
Well, you gotta look to our city that our numbers right now, we're blessed that we don't have many people in Cabot that have COVID-19 that we know of, the numbers that are reported. So, you know, our city has, like I said, been blessed by the good Lord that right now that we haven't had a spike or we haven't had people with it in our city. So, you know, it seems like everyone in town, I know some people will say you're not wearing your mask enough, and some people say I'm wearing it too much. But overall, I mean, the numbers show whether maybe we're not getting tested in Lonoke County or Cabot, but enough. But right now, the numbers look great in our city as well. So we got to consider that too, I think.
I agree.
In all this stuff.
I agree.
I also, didn't we just suspend the fireworks ordinance based in large part on the fact that we didn't have the resources to enforce that over a 2-night period? So now with this ordinance here would be looking for enforcement of 24/7, 365. And if we didn't have the resources for the fireworks, I don't think we have the resources to do this.
And I agree. I think it's a personal of the business places. I mean, if Walmart doesn't want you in there without the mask, then Walmart needs to put the sign up on the door. So.
It's a matter of personal choice and responsibility. Responsible individuals are going to take appropriate action. If they can't keep the social distancing, they should put on the mask.
Yep, I agree, Matt.
Mayor, I would not have a problem with a resolution that says, like Governor Asa Hutchinson supports and encourages, and the Centers for Disease Control encourages. I wouldn't mind seeing a resolution say the city of Cabot encourages you to do this.
Right. Well, this is from the governor and the CDC, but it's not written the way we want, is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind encouraging, but I don't want to be the one that carries the hammer.
And you can't enforce anything. We have the resources in our police to enforce it, just like we have the resources to enforce fireworks. But there's no fine, there's no penalty. It's just, you can't. What are we going to do? Go up to someone and say, here, put this mask on. If they don't, we take them to jail, and then they sue us because we took them to jail without any reason for taking them to jail.
We're putting our police officers in an awkward predicament if we do that.
Exactly.
So if you want to do like James just said, with encouraging people to use them, the verbiage is a lot different than saying requires or mandates.
Yeah.
And let's do a resolution, not an ordinance that's going to stay on the books forever.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure. Well, right now they don't have one, and I think they're trying to put some teeth to this, even though you can't regulate it very well. So,
well, I got one thing, Mayor. We could probably be a beckoning call to our legislators that live here in Cabot, that if they want something to happen, they need to make it happen. There's no teeth in that ordinance for us to enforce anything in that. Like it's been said before, our police department can't enforce a ban on fireworks. We're sure not going to enforce this. So if they want to mandate and do all that and require us to do all that, they're going to have to learn how to write an ordinance. Is all I can say.
okay. I'll let them know. And I'll let Municipal League know that our city's not going to adopt it.
Nope.
So.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mayor, is there anybody in the, I can't see in there. I was wondering if anybody in the audience or the public in there has anything to say.
Yes, we have comments on YouTube. We're going to start with those first, and then we have several people in the audience about face mask. Matthew, go ahead.
We have an Angela Schwab who said 100% kid, you'll know what to do. I agree 100% with encouraging, not requiring. And then she said, boom. And then Maggie Cope said, thank you, Ed Long, great valid points. And Abigail Bell said, people aren't smart.
So you had 2 against face mask, 1 for it there on Facebook.
Someone just said, I appreciate you voting no.
3 for no, 1 for yes. Go ahead. We have lady right here that would like to speak. Please state for the record, if you'd state your name and address.
My name is Rhonda McCall, and I just want to say that I am totally against this. I actually looked up before the meeting, Asa Hutchinson's, what he is really asking. He is mainly asking for us to stay safe and wear the mask. I'm against this 100%. We are blessed with an awesome police chief. They stay very busy with what they do for our community. They don't need to be going out to the facilities, to the restaurants and everything. I agree with Norma, because if they're not wanting you to come in without a mask, then they need to, supply a mask.
Okay.
I went to IHOP 2 weeks ago for a meeting, and I walked in the door, forgot my mask in the door, in my car. She stopped me and said, "You're not allowed in here." I went out and I got it. Same thing happened at US Pizza. If they're going to require it, then they've been supplying the masks. But I don't think we need to be involved in our police department where they could be utilized in a much better situation than playing Paw Patrol over face masks. I'm totally against this. And I think Cabot is doing an awesome job. Yes, you see people at Walmart, you see them at Kroger and things, but when you go to the restaurants, they are having the respect of wearing the masks in until they get their food. So I think we're doing really good with compliance.
Thank you. Who's next? I saw some hands. Please state your name and address, ma'am.
Lizzie Sharp, 11 Sunshine Court in Cabot. I just want to say, City Council, thank you so much. You guys have brains in your head. You're thinking about this logically. What are we going to start doing? Arresting moms in parks because they don't have masks on? I mean, it's just craziness, and it's a gross encroachment of governmental power. Masks have risks. It's 90 degrees outside. What are we going to do? Wear masks, breathing in our own O2, and then faint and smack our head, and then, it's just a whole ordeal. So I'm completely against it, 100%. Businesses want to have it. They're more than welcome, and we should abide and respect that, but we also need to respect ourselves and not let government completely dictate our lives. Thank you.
Y'all hear that one?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Next. I think I got thumbs up with other people not wearing masks as well. And I think the 2 women that spoke, I think they said it well. Am I getting that correct? People are shaking their heads. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people from the public, not counting our directors and people here from the city, shaking their head for no mask legislation. So with that being said, what other items do we need to discuss? Did you have anything else on Facebook? I'm sorry. Community input, yeah.
Maggie Pope had 2 questions. The first one was, when is the city council planning on meeting in person again? And then the second question was, could you, Mayor, explain the process of getting on the ballot for city council? Wanting to know when that deadline to file is.
The first question, what we've been doing to the public, I've been sending a question to them saying, do you want to meet in person or do you want to meet via Zoom? We've done that the last 2 months. The vote was a majority to meet via Zoom because of the rising numbers of COVID across the state, trying to be very respectful of everyone and everyone's health condition and everyone's personal needs. So what we'll do is, again, in July, we'll vote again. If it's majority says we still meet on Zoom, we will still meet on Zoom. I'm letting the council and elected officials decide what we do on this because it involves all of us. I'm concerned about everyone. If you want to run for city council, the filing deadline is August 6th, I believe. The filing start date is July 26th. I think, Tammy, do you have the forms at City Hall or do they need to go to the Lonoc County office? They'll need to go to Lonoc County in Lonoc, pick up the forms to file for city council. They got to declare their ward that they want to run for, and they've got to live in that ward, and they have to get 20 signatures. Is that right, Ed?
30 signatures.
Mhm.
And the forms are online. You can get them online through the Arkansas Ethics Commission. They've got them online.
Thank you. So you can go to Arkansas Ethics Commission for those that want to run for city council, get the form. You got to put your name and ward and position that you want to run for, and you have to get 30 registered voters to sign for you, saying that they would support you to run or that you're a person that can run. Basically, you are over 18 years old and you can run for city council. So it's just Arkansas law. And then they'll check your 30 signatures, and if that's good to go, they'll put you on the ballot.
Yep.
Pretty much. Anything else, Matthew? Anything from the audience? Thank you. We got a comment that we're all doing great. So as we go tonight, know you're doing great. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. By Ed, second by Doug. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's over at 7:22. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Which one do you want me to hit? You want me to do this first? YouTube. Yeah, I thought you were gonna do that. It's right here. Yeah. I think you go right there on that. Yeah, there you go.